Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So this morning I've called it Your Dance of Life, and this whole episode has come from a number of different places that I want to speak to that have come into my awareness in the last few days. So the first thing is that yesterday I was scrolling on LinkedIn and I came across a post that somebody had shared. And it was a video of a group of children, all in kind of similar outfits, little headdresses on and stuff, who were clearly in some kind of performance, perhaps in a school or a choir or something. And the music was amazing. The music had a wonderful beat. Even I was kind of moving in time to this music that I could hear. And one little boy, they were all sat down very quietly, these children, all very still. They'd obviously been told to just sit down and sing and not move. But this one little boy couldn't not move. You could see he started kind of moving his shoulders and jigging about a bit, and then he started moving his arms, and he just felt the music, and the music said move, and he moved. And as he did that, other children followed him, and the audience were enthused by his movement. You could hear that in the, because somebody was videoing, you could hear the excitement in the audience and the clapping and the cheering, probably mostly from his own parents. But anyway, and that no teacher ran in and kind of made them stop, which was wonderful. It's probably what I would have done when I was a teacher, to be fair. And so he moved, and then he started moving his arms, and the children started to join in, and just the energy of the whole thing was absolutely beautiful. And I thought, what a beautiful example of what happens when we listen to the music. Now, your music might not be actual music. Your music may be something that's coming through you that says this is the next step in your life, in your business, in your relationship, in whatever it is. The next thing to do may come through you like it's alive, like music. And you'll have a moment of this kind of gentle excitement of, oh, wow, if I did that, what would happen if I did that? Now that's where this session came from, which is the next thing I want to say, is yesterday I was just sitting, and just the thought of this session came through me. So the words that you'll be able to see wherever you're watching this or listening to it came through me, this seeing that we all have this music inside us that isn't necessarily music in the sense of being a tune with song, with the words and musical notes, etc. But we all have this aliveness running through us. We all have our own dance of life waiting to be born into the world. And what do we do with that? Well, not that we do this, but what happens to that is that it gets squashed down by our conditioned thinking, by the old stuff, the old stories, which also merges into the future story of what might happen. So, for example, in our businesses, we feel this urge to do something like a live video. I always use that example because I'm here doing a live video, so it's front and center in my mind. But it could just be, I saw a lovely post this morning where somebody spoke about doing their first post on LinkedIn and how they felt so uncomfortable and afraid of what would happen, because we've learned to be afraid, haven't we? We've learned that if we put our head, like that little boy, the dancing little boy. Sorry, I just need a tissue. We just like that little boy. If after that event somebody says to him, "That was naughty. You shouldn't have got up and danced. You were supposed to sit down and sing. You caused all this disruption. All the other children got up." If somebody says that to him, he might never do that again. That dance, that aliveness that was running through him, that is a natural. Humans have been moving to music for God knows how long, for a very long time. Even if it's just been the beat of a drum, that's been part of us as human beings. We move to the rhythm of life, don't we? So if somebody says to that little boy, you were out of order, that was naughty, you're out of the choir and you're not allowed to do that anymore, and he gets told off, then he will learn that that's not okay. And we've all learned very similar things. So we have an idea to put ourselves out there, to do something different, to do something with that passion, with that intuition, with that wisdom coming from our music, coming from the song that wants to come out of us, and we squash it down. Again and again, we squash it down. Not deliberately, but just because somewhere along the line we've learnt that there is no safety in following that, because it's got us into trouble. So we don't do it. We don't follow that intuition. And so something magical that is meant to come into the world does not come into the world. And the emotion today is because I'm seeing that in myself, the things that I'm not doing, the things that I really want to do, that I'm squashing down because I don't think I can do that, etc. So it's a bit raw this morning, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to cry. Because I'm feeling that myself. I feel like I've got a voice bubbling up inside me that's saying, this is it. This is the direction to go in my business. And I'm squashing it down. So after this, I'm probably just going to sit with that and think about it. Or not think about it, just see what comes up. And that is what I would encourage you. If something is coming, for me, it feels very different physically. That if something is coming from down here, that it feels like it's heart-led, gut-led, it feels, just has that wonderful kind of, oh, wow, that's exciting to it. Listen to that. I don't know what your intuition feels like, but you do. Somebody once said to me, your own intuition like I spent the weekend with some baby animals, and like the mother goat knows the sound of her own baby goat's neigh. That's the noise they make, isn't it? She knows the bleat. Is it a bleat? Is that sheep, goats? I don't know. Anyway, the sound that baby makes, that mother knows that sound. Here, she knows it here. And you know the sound of your voice, your inner voice, your inner guidance. And the clue is that when that comes up, when the dance, when the music is coming through you, you will feel it. And it will feel good. And then the thought that comes in, the conditioning, the old habitual thinking that comes in, that feels heavy and stagnant and repressed and samey, so samey. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's you can't do that, you'll look stupid, you know, this is not for you. It's all of that. As I'm saying this to you, I know I've got half finished things on this computer that I really want to share with you, and I'm not doing. Because for some reason I'm deterred from sharing them. Really do wish I had waterproof mascara today, because it's all probably getting very smudgy now. But it's okay. So I want you to sit with that. Like, what is your thing? What is it you've half started and not finished? What is it you want to put out into the world that you're not putting out into the world? Because that silly voice in your head is saying no. It's saying you can't do that. It's saying you'll look stupid. It's saying whatever it's saying. It may not be an audible voice. It may just be a feeling of resistance or a great big heap of procrastination, because that's how it comes out in me. It's that I just don't do the thing. I have to tell you that stuck on my microphone, try and pull it off quietly, is this sign at the moment. I invite you to ask yourself that question. What are you avoiding? By the way, if you're just listening to this, the little sign says, what am I avoiding? And all of this is not an invitation to go off and do some kind of affirmations or try and change the way you're being. It is just bringing some awareness. Noticing how that energy, that dance, that music of life comes through you, and then, you know, it's like somebody smashing up the record or putting it back in its case, shoving it back in the rack. It's where is that happening in your life? And I suspect it is happening in your business. It will be, because it's happening in most people's lives and businesses, where we, you know, have a thought to do something and then we don't do it. And whatever way that comes, like, that might be a direct, I'm not doing that, it feels too awful, or it may be more subtle than that. It may be just an avoidance. So, I need to breathe for a minute. I'm going to leave you with that, really. Don't let your essence and your amazingness stay in a box. Let it out. It needs to come into the world. You have something amazing to give. So I'm sending you lots of love. I'm sending a lot of love to myself this morning too. I need it. So take care, and I hope you found that helpful. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.